One common feature in good video games are the stunning graphics. It's hard to believe how much video game graphics has evolved over the years, from the very first manufactured video game Pong, to games like Atomic Heart in just 50 years. This video will cover the evolution of game graphics and in addition give you a list of some of the games of 2023 with outstanding graphic technology. Early arcade games from the 1970s used simplistic graphics to trick players into thinking they look 3D. Such as the 1983 Star Wars arcade game. The 3D of the game may not be anything like today's 3D games, but back then they were considered to be using cutting-edge technology.
Stop the cap!
Space Invaders used simple sprites to represent characters on screen. Although its graphic technology will soon become the staple type of graphics used in video games, as they become available to play on home consoles. The third generation of game consoles began on July 15, 1983, with the release of the Nintendo's Family Computer and Sega's SG-1000. The number of simultaneous colors on screen and the palette size both increased, along with larger resolutions and more sprites on screen. However, there were a couple of limitations, like the infamous 256 glitch, only known by true gamers. Well, not true gamers, mostly old gamers. Basically, when a player reached level 256 in the original Pac-Man arcade version, the game would either crash or show random numbers on screen. This was due to hardware limitation which made the game unbeatable. Video game graphics took another great leap forward in the 1990s, with expanded color palettes and sprites more detailed than ever before. 16-bit consoles like the Super Nintendo Entertainment System became available, and games like Super Mario Bros. Showcased how far video game graphics had come in just a few years. Furthermore, Nintendo added a chip to the game cartridge to enable greater graphical processing power, making games like Super Mario RPG become possible.
Drain your godly powers into the sword, Kratos. Only then will you reach your full potential.
Why do you aid me now?
What I do now, I do for the good of all Olympus.
Although not as long-lasting as the 16-bit era, the 32-bit era brought gaming graphics to a new level in a short amount of time. The Sony PlayStation was the forerunner for 32-bit games as the console used CDs as the medium for its games, which meant developers could store more data on the discs.
Gotta get out of here!
With the ability to pull incredible power from the Nintendo 64 console, games like Super Mario 64 rewrote the book on how to create 3D platform games.
Yahoo! Yahoo! Yahoo!
The only thing that can defeat power is more power.
I think the girls with their nails done now.
What came next was the next four PlayStations, the Nintendo Wii, Switch, and Xbox 360. It's redundant to say that video game graphics on these consoles were impressive, as with the rise of even more powerful consoles, graphics in turn grow more impressive. Today's games are in high definition and run at high frame rates than they ever did, with graphics that are much more realistic. We may soon get to a point where graphics almost resemble the real world. Here are a couple of games with some of the best graphics currently.
Their deaths still carry honor.
Poor bastards.
Check out the loot. They left Gibraltar.
Elden Ring. Horizon Forbidden West. Atomic Heart. God of War Ragnarok. And Forza Horizon 5. Video game graphics today make arcade games in the 1990s look like the Stone Age. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.